My name is Jamila Watkins. I'm with the City of Detroit, Office of Contracting and Procurement. Today is January 11th, Thursday, January 11th, and we're here for the pre-bid conference for RFP 184309, the Dexter Elmhurst Recreation Center renovations. It is an ARPA RFP, and just to let you all know that this meeting is being recorded, okay? So at this time, I've already introduced myself. I'm going to turn it over to CDD and then our architect part. Actually, I'm going to turn it over to my boss, the deputy CPO, then CDD, then the architects, and then we'll come back to me. I'll just go over key dates and then we'll go from there. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to hand it over to Deputy Chief Procurement Officer, Latanya Limit.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Latanya Stewart Limit, Tony. I just want to say welcome to this virtual pre-bid. We're really excited about getting this out, and we look forward to questions if you have them. So thank you for attending.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ria Bautista. I'm the Capital Planning Manager for Construction and Demolition Department. Pass it on to Debbie.
Debbie, you're muted.
You're muted.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Debbie Macnack, and I am the Construction Project Manager for this project. So happy to see a good turnout in this. Thank you.
Yeah. Rashawn, you want to go?
Sure.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rayshawn Landrum, Associate Landscape Architect and Project Manager with the General Service Department, working alongside Ria and Deb.
And then Jen.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jen May Gray. I'm a principal at Ply Plus Architecture, and I will pass it over to Andrew.
Good morning, everybody. I am studio manager and project manager at Ply Plus Architecture. Excited to get this project rolling.
All right, Jamelia, we're ready.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I want to share the RFP. All right, so I just want to go over the key dates here. So the RFP was sent out, posted, published on January 6th. Today is the pre-proposal conference, and I didn't update that. This must be an old copy. Yeah. So obviously we're virtual, we're not on site. Questions are going to be due Tuesday, the 16th by 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please note that your questions need to be submitted via the Oracle supplier portal. If you are not registered as a supplier, I'm going to later on put in the chat contact information for our e-procurement team who can assist you with the registration. If you are registered in the portal and you don't understand how to upload documents, you can also reach out to them for assistance with navigation. Make sure that when you are registered, or if you're registered, that your portal is set for Eastern Standard Time. It's very important, particularly when it comes to submitting your questions. And then, of course, when it comes to submitting your proposal, you need to have your portal set for Eastern Standard Time, because if it is not, it could affect whether or not your proposal is accepted. And I also want to point out, you might want to try to submit your proposal before the last minute in case you do have any difficulty. I'll be able to assist you. Your answers are going to be distributed hopefully around the 18th of January. And that, of course, depends on how many questions we get on this RFP. Proposals are going to be due Monday, January 22nd by 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a high priority project. And so that is the reason for the timeline. At this point, I want to go to page 20. Navigate. Oh, yeah. Here we go to page 20. Page 20 has our minimum qualifications. These are the minimum qualifications here. Ria, can you raise your hand if you can see them? Can you see that on my screen? Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so you are going to need a current Michigan builders and electricians license. You'll need to submit that with your proposal. proof of 30 hours of OSHA training completed within the past 5 years, and you must be able to start this job by April 1st, 2024. Additionally, you're going to need to show that you have a minimum of 5 years experience providing comparable construction and renovation services for government-owned facilities of similar size, including large recreation centers and or schools. And or you can show a minimum of 3 of these type of projects of comparable size within the past 2 years. So that's that. If you have questions about that, we can get to that later. I want to go next to page 21. 21 for evaluation criteria. So there are 4 evaluation criteria. They are work plan and schedule, capacity, experience, and pricing. They are weighted at 30, 20, 15, and 25 points each, respectively, for a total of 100 points. We can speak, and these are more details on how we're going to evaluate you here. Make sure you complete everything totally. Please provide good verifiable references, as much information as possible. Don't just, give us some good details on your experience because it's very, very important. Next, we're going to go to page 24 for the required proposal content and format. So please note that you do need to submit a letter of transmittal with each proposal. Every time I go through these, it's always someone who misses. So please, please be sure to include this letter. That letter needs to include a statement that your proposal is good for 120 days. There's also attachment A, that's your respondent questionnaire. Attachment B is where you're going to include your proposal introduction and your solution and approach. Attachment C is where you're going to provide your pricing proposal. Attachment D are forms, affidavits, and documents. They must be totally completed, and do note that at least 2 of them require notarization. Attachment E is the model professional services contract. This is very important because it does contain the required insurances. You must be prepared to provide your proof of insurance, okay? And also note that this contract is subject to the Davis-Bacon Act. I sent out a message last night to all the suppliers attached to this proposal with the current Davis-Bacon wage determination information. If that information does update between now and when the contract is issued, of course, that's going to be updated. So I'm going to issue an amendment. There's just a little bit of a lag with some of the releases, but I will be issuing an amendment with the actual information. If you didn't receive it in email, everything is going to be uploaded to the portal, and we may be making a couple other changes as well. So that is all that I have to share. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to, at this point, turn it over to CDD.
Thank you, Jamelia. I'll do a quick overview and I'll pass it on to Debbie and the architects. But essentially, so Dexter Elmhurst Recreation Center was a existing recreation center ran by a nonprofit, and the city recently purchased the facility with an adjacent neighborhood park. There's a parking lot in the back. We are also inquiring a couple of the land banks parcels in the back of the facilities in order to utilize for a parking lot as well as a kind of putting more green space and clearing the vacant lots. So this project, we are looking for a general contractor to work with us and the architect Pi Plus in hand to construct and renovate the entire recreation center, which is roughly 20,000 square foot. We are also looking to, and in coordination with GSD Landscape Design Unit to renovate the neighborhood park and closing off the tuxedo lot or street between the parking or the park as well as the building to utilize as a plaza and to also incorporate site work for the lots and parking lots. So with that, I'll pass. Is there anything else, Debbie, that you want to touch base on? You're good?
Yeah, I think that was pretty good.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to hand it over to Apply Plus to go more in details of the layout.
Actually, Rhea, before you do that, I just want to, I did notice, and it will be sent out, that the percentage does not equal 100. That's on the bid, and so that will be changed and sent for the evaluation criteria.
Okay. And then sorry, one other thing before I pass it on, I'm creating a Google sheet that I'm going to put on the chat. So if people could sign in the sheet, you'll see it here shortly. All right, Jen and Andrew.
Yep, good morning, everybody. So I'm going to share my screen, and I think first just going to share kind of essentially the existing floor plan, which we're showing kind of right now as a demo plan. And then you guys all see my screen? Okay, great. And then we'll kind of just do a sort of walkthrough of the new plan layout, and also have kind of a virtual kind of walkthrough that we can do, since we're obviously not in person here. That will kind of take us through the existing space as best we can. My first time using that kind of software, so bear with me, it's a little jumpy. But this is the existing floor plan right now. So anchoring kind of plan left is a gymnasium. Plan right is kind of a larger community room space. In between, some existing locker rooms and restrooms, and then the front portion of the building, essentially drywall partitions with some existing kind of office space and things like that. So for the walkthrough virtually here, I'm going to kind of start with this main entrance off of Dexter, and I guess I should say currently there's 4 main entrances to the building, one off of Tuxedo here, one off of Dexter here, and then off of Elmhurst Street on the back side over here. So again, I'm going to kind of start here and sort of work my way into the building, and then we'll kind of just kind of quickly kind of jump through the existing space. And I will say this was taken back in May, so I think as Debbie has kind of expressed, or maybe it's probably known, that the building is not in as good of a shape as so just wanted to point that out also. So this is kind of that main entrance off of Dexter. If we kind of move into the building, there's kind of this entry space here. And then kind of jumping into this main corridor. So we're looking now towards Tuxedo Street. There's kind of this glass kind of clerestory right now. That's in pretty rough shape. A lot of water damage from this leaking over time. This is kind of that back kind of admin space. There's a restroom located back here as well. A lot of the ceiling tiles have been removed up to this point, so we are able to see more of the existing structure than we currently can kind of in this virtual walkthrough. I'm going to jump kind of back to the corridor here and work our way towards Elmhurst Street. These kind of box outs are for the existing bar joists that span across the corridor. I'm not going to go into these little side rooms here. There's really not much to see internally. It's also quite dark on the inside there. So this is kind of that second entrance off of Dexter. And you'll see kind of in our new plan, we're actually proposing to convert this into essentially a reading room and sort of block this entrance off with a new storefront window. There's 2 existing bathrooms right off of this main corridor here. And then again, making our way towards Elmhurst Street, that other entranceway, and you can kind of see sort of the water damage over time from the building. Work my way into the community room here. So up here in this little key plan, this kind of purple area, it's a little dark in here. We didn't have power at the time, and there is no power at the building currently. So again, a lot of this ceiling grid has been removed. You can definitely access a little bit more of it right now if we were there, but does give you an idea. There's an existing wood deck here. So this was the original building, and then with a series of additions sort of playing right with the gym and then the admin space to the front. But the sort of original building was kind of this square that I'm kind of tracing with my cursor here. This is currently an existing kitchen on the back side here, and then the fire suppression system kind of has this corner room that's kind of back in this yellow area here. There's a central corridor that sort of connects the community room to the gym. One of the sort of, I think, driving factors for a lot of the renovation work is accessibility. There's a lot of different levels within the building that we needed to navigate in order to simplify accessibility and access to sort of the main restrooms in the center portion of the building, as well as that sort of connection between the gym and the community room, which we'll take a look at when we look at the new floor plan. But this is kind of a ramp that ascends up, it levels out, and then goes back down to get to the gym. Kind of be up in the ceiling space, bear with me here. And then we're going to make our way through to the gym. A little bit dark here, so I might jump to some actual photos that we took early on. All the structures in really good shape in the gym. It's more kind of the finishes, etc., that need to be updated within this space here. But I'll jump to kind of some existing photos of that gym when we did have power in the building, just to give you guys a better sense of what that space is like. This is kind of looking towards another kind of admin office. And then off of that, there is an existing kind of storage room, which if I go to the plan here, that's kind of above the restrooms right now, that we are going to maintain. We'll flip back to the virtual here. And then jumping kind of back out. Whoops, there's the jump. Get back to the corridor here. So I feel like that kind of gives you a sense of at least a little bit of where things are at right now with the existing conditions. Sort of with that, I might jump to kind of the main, the new floor plan, and just kind of walk through that real fast here. So we're essentially keeping the sort of main components of the building where they are. So obviously keeping the gym located exactly where it is on plan left here, with obviously updates to finishes, other code related items that needed to be addressed. The community room anchoring kind of the right side remains where it is. And then essentially reworking this front portion of the building into a series of offices here on the left, and then a series of support spaces for the rec center as we work our way sort of plan right with a computer room, some storage areas, a children's STEM room, which is going to act kind of like a makerspace. We have a reading room that's kind of adjacent to that, which I mentioned in the virtual walkthrough. This is where we're actually closing off that entrance off of Dexter Street with a storefront window. To the right of that, we have sort of a children's art room, and then kind of a more flexible game room space that's just kind of going to allow, I think, more access for pool tables, sort of ping pong, things like that. And then to the right of that, a dance studio room, which is going to anchor that right side of the building. In terms of access to the building, while we're looking at this main corridor, so we're gonna have two main entrances to the building. It's going to be off of Tuxedo Street here, and then maintaining this one off of Dexter. So in terms of circulation, we're going to come up a ramp. There's a main central check-in desk. Same thing off of Dexter. So anyone entering the building has to pass through this area first. The exit off of Elmhurst is exactly that. It's going to be for egress only. And that goes for the same for doors off of the gym back here. These are for egress, and then off of the community room as well. So the two main entrances, again, here and here for the main building. That central portion of the building programmatically remains relatively the same. We're just reconfiguring, again, the spaces so that we can have better access in terms of ADA accessibility and navigating those different floor levels. So as you come up the main corridor here, you can tuck left to the gym, and there's a little ramp that takes you down because there is a floor level change between the gym and the main corridor. Off of the gym here, we have a sort of open weight room, and then an existing electrical room is going to remain just that, an electrical room, but with obviously upgraded equipment as well. That main sort of connecting corridor that we had passing through this area, we're sort of shifting plan south here, so there's a ramp that takes you up, and that allows kind of a unification of this level to access the two locker rooms. So this is kind of what's labeled in the drawings as level 2 here. So now kind of all of this is at the same level, so we have access to the men's water closet and women's water closet off of this level 2, as well as these two locker rooms as well. To the right of that, we have sort of an adult changing station, so kind of a larger room for accessibility, and then there's a level change again as we get into the community room, so another ramp that takes us down to this level here, and again, this was kind of that existing building, sort of along this grid line here. Plan south, we've relocated that kitchen that was kind of tucked along this back area. The rec center was interested in a larger kitchen, sort of a community kitchen that allows the rec center to support community food programs, as well as maybe like a teaching kitchen as well. And so we kind of enlarged that area, and that's right off of the community room as well. There is a basement, and that's kind of just below. I don't have a plan pulled up for that right now. It's going to remain as is, but that's kind of justified just underneath this central portion, from the men's locker room out to essentially this line here of the reading room. And I think that kind of covers everything from the main floor plan. In terms of the exterior of the building, we can go to a few photos of that on the outside. We're updating finishes where we need to, but the exterior of the building is going to be essentially painted everywhere, and there is some areas that need masonry repair, as well as some tuck pointing, especially along this back wall here off of the parking area, where this was the original building here as well. So a couple of images of that. You can kind of see this actually has been removed. This wall, there was definitely some moisture issues, but a lot of this vegetation has been removed, but there's definitely some repair work along here. This is kind of that dividing line between that existing building and the gym portion, which changes to CMU block on that side. Have a closer up view of that as well. And then in terms of the frontage off of Dexter Street, it's a fluted block construction, and then these little entryways that are kind of tucked in here switches to just regular CMU. We are proposing some new kind of perforated metal screens to help us screen essentially the RTU units that are going to be servicing the admin area, but also to give a little bit of identity to that frontage along Dexter Street, to sort of bring the building a little bit of color as well as, again, identity here. I think that covers it. Debbie, anything else I should touch on that I might have missed?
No, I think you did pretty good with the inside of the building. I just want to make it very clear to everyone that's bidding on this. There's quite a bit of electrical work inside there. There will be, mechanical work for the rooftops. And one thing, there is some work that is in the basement, and it is showing on the demo plan. But that's part of the demolition, which is also part of this contract. So for that, thank you, Andrew. Again, I appreciate you running through that. The building is definitely, we're not walking it because there's been rain leaks and so forth in there. We do want to have the selective demo will definitely be part of the first process of the building. So it's something we'll be looking at with the bid and how I plan to get that work done. Will take place. There will be no power to the building. There is currently no power. So, you'll have to obtain and get some temporary power over to the building. So, Rayshawn, would you like to show some of the park and the plaza area?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to share my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Or Deb, see my screen? So portion of this project will be the plaza and the park. So here we have the plaza, which will be a portion of Tuxedo closure, which is adjacent to the rec center that's going to be renovated, and then this larger parcel here, which will be the park. So going back here to where the plaza will be, we're coordinating with Detroit Public Works to do the removal of Tuxedo, to bring it up to grade, and then we can start our construction for the plaza. So DPW will be coordinating that with us. In regards to the park parcel, as you can see, majority of the parcel is asphalt. I think it once was a parking lot, but you do have some amenities, which you can see here. There are some basketball courts here. So we're asking for removal of the asphalt, basketball courts. There are some parking blocks as well, I believe, on this portion of the parcel. There are some light poles as well that needs removal. The connections are disconnected already. And of course, the fence, all the fencing along the perimeter will be removed. And also any vegetation that's within that fence line as well. There is a little bit of a right of way that will be removed in place, which will include removing this driveway approach as well. DPW is doing the streetscape along Dexter Avenue, but that does not include this portion. So the right of way for this part will be included in this project here. So that is all in regards to demolition for the park and plaza. And I'm going to share my screen for the proposed. Deb, could you also see the site plan here? Okay, so here is the park and plaza proposed site plan. So you see here we have the plaza, which is the Tuxedo Street closure. Pretty much just hardscape concrete with some tree grates and trees. I am proposing a stage which will be adjacent to the building, and then there will be art installation, as you can see right here along Dexter Ave. And there is you can't see it here, but here's the rec center. There is that entry there, which aligns with the park very nicely. So as you enter the park, you have the trees, you have park amenities, which will be fitness equipment, a multi-sport court, which will be futsal and basketball court. It's kind of an enclosed arena here. And then you have your playground, which you have swing sets, playground structure and amenities. And you look up north here, you'll see that you have a picnic shelter, which will have barbecue amenities as well. And then all your picnic tables and benches and trash receptacles. In this area along Dexter Avenue, you have this nice little area with the picnic tables. Also, you have this crushed limestone here, as you can see, hatched in this area. In regards to in the perimeter, we do have 4-foot fencing along Dexter Avenue and along Webb Street only, and then a small little piece here along the backside of the shelter. So that's pretty much it for the park and plaza. Hopefully I didn't go too fast. And Rhea and Deb, let me know if I missed anything in regards to park and plaza.
No, I don't think that you didn't do anything, but is it possible that you could bring up the full site view, the show behind the building and what we're going to do with the,
I think
Yeah, I don't
maybe
have that. Yeah, I think
Andrew
Rhea has
can.
that.
oh, Andrew, can you pull that up?
Yep.
Okay, can you guys see?
Yeah, maybe
Yes.
if you could zoom in a little
Yeah,
bit to
yeah.
show the behind the building. There you go.
And I don't want to add on this plan, the park and plaza, the new design is not reflected, but not too much has not changed. But if you do look at the plaza there are some green spaces that are being removed. But pretty much what I showed is reflected on here.
And thank you for that. So I asked you to bring this up because the pricing schedule goes into area A, B, C, and then D and E. A is the building portion, and we're hoping that the contractors are looking at this to be able to, first and foremost, we start the building first and then get into the site work after the building, because the building is ready to start, and we'll be submitting for the permit on that. Now the parking lot in the alley, we're expanding that parking lot, or the alleyway will be expanded, and the parking that we're going to have also behind there. So there's some stormwater that's not complete. There will be a revised set of drawings that are coming out that will show the extent of that. However, for bidding purposes now, we at least want to let you know that is in there. We do have some costs ourselves that we know estimates of that. So when you're putting your proposal together, what I'm trying to ask for is please, ensure the building's put together with its timeline and a schedule, and then possibly have the exterior side of the project on a schedule that follows the building, or goes together with it, but knowing that that's what our plan is for any contractor out there. Rhea, is there anything you'd like to add with that?
No, I don't.
I think with that, we could open up for a question and answer if anyone else doesn't have something to add to the design portion.
Yep. Okay. So thank you very much, team. At this point, as Debbie just said, if you have any questions, it would be nice if you could raise your hand first if you want to ask them, and then you can also enter questions in the chat. And yes, you can raise your hand on camera, or you can also do that. Thank you very much. So let's go to Joe Scapatici. Did I say it right?
You did. Thanks, Jamil.
All
Appreciate it. Hi,
right.
everyone. Joe with Major. A couple questions. Going through our RFP quickly. The drawings of the site, the park plaza parking lots, I didn't see those immediately. Are they going to be uploaded to the bid documents? Unless I missed them?
Are you a registered supplier, Joe?
Yes.
You are. So I sent out several documents. The drawing should be included, but we'll make sure all of that is included today. All right.
Okay, and
Because I know I'm
double
going to
check.
I sent some things out by message, and some things are going to be sent out via amendment. There was just a little bit of a lag here, but I'm planning on doing an amendment today. So just look for all that stuff later on this afternoon, okay?
Great. And then, sorry, just again, another question. The bid date of 122, do we envision that holding or possibly being pushed?
At this point, that's the proposal's due date. If we find that we need to push it out, we'll do that, and an amendment will be issued. Debbie, Rhea, do you have any thoughts on that right now, or are you fine? Because this, again, this is a high priority project, so
Right.
we need to get it closed as soon as possible. At this point, that's what it is, because we want to get this closed and we want to get it evaluated and get the contract out and work started as soon as possible. Remember that the work we want it to be started by April 1st. So that's kind of why the timeline is condensed as it is.
Okay. Just one more question. I think I heard the answer to this, but there will be no building walk offered before the bid. Maybe the conditions are not safe enough. Is that what I heard?
That's correct.
That is
There's
correct.
no access, but yeah, to the building
Okay.
right now.
I just wanted to verify. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Pretty quiet group today. Okay, so just gonna leave it out here for a couple more minutes. If we
And
don't
if,
get any other questions, go ahead, Ria.
or if, again, if you haven't signed in, please sign in on the link
Yes.
that I sent out. And I see here there's one, well, let me double check. There's one number on the call. Can you verify for record the 248-251 number? If you could speak of saying who your name is and what company you're with.
Yes, Jalen Thomas with High Energy Enterprise LLC.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Did you say you sent out a link for the signing sheet?
It's
The
in the
link,
chat. If you
I was
scroll up,
late. I was late
right.
getting into
Yeah,
the
just
meeting,
scroll
so it's
up.
not there.
It's
I'm
in the
looking now.
chat. Can you access the chat?
I'm in the chat right now, but I don't have any link in the chat at the
I'm
moment.
sending it one more.
Thank you. I see it now.
And then I'm gonna post again. See if I can shoot. No. So I'm gonna post again the email address for our e-procurement team for anyone who needs assistance with registration or navigation. I'm gonna send that right now. And are we gonna allow any questions, Ria and Debbie, to be submitted in via Oracle, or do we have time for that? Do you want to do that?
I guess that's up to CP of
Yeah.
how we don't receive. Do you
So
guys
like,
want,
yeah, we can do it, but it's the time is going to be very condensed for submission. Um, okay. Yeah, so how about if, because it always happens, we get off of the calls and a question will occur to you. So let's give you guys, it's 11:42, till close of business today to submit a question via Oracle. And then we can try to get the answer out to you tomorrow or Monday. How about that? And again, that has to be submitted via the supplier portal. Do not reach out to me or anyone in CDD or the architects. Don't reach out to anyone in email or by phone. Send all your questions via the supplier portal. Okay, so it doesn't look like there are any other questions. I'm just gonna leave that. Are we sure no other questions? Everybody good? So at this point, I just want to thank you all. Okay, Alex White.
Hi. Okay, just one quick question. So this is just so that I remember, we're not going by the questions due date on the RFP. We're going to have it
Oh,
by
I'm
close of
sorry. Did
business
I have
today.
one? I'm so sorry. That's on me. Okay, so let me see. Look at that. So yeah, I do have a questions due date. Thank you, Alex. You're so helpful. You helped me earlier today too. So yeah, questions are due by the 16th. So we're giving you one more day after the holiday to submit your questions by 11. Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. And then your answers will be distributed by Thursday. So
Okay,
that
thank
should
you very
give
much.
plenty of time. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. So if that's all, are there any other questions? Okay, so definitely look for an amendment. We know we're going to have to update the evaluation criteria, those numbers there, and perhaps the pricing sheet. I'm going to make sure all the drawings are attached. And that's it. So thank you again for your attendance today. And we look forward to receiving some good proposals. Tony, did you have anything you wanted to say to close out? Okay. She might be doing something else. Okay, no problem. All right, we'll go ahead and end it. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.